Very good evening to everyone. How is life going on? Welcome back to Edu Skills, OET made easy. Our mission is to make you fall in love with OET. If you're watching this on YouTube, kindly consider subscribing channel, give us a thumbs up if you like our work, and share this video to your contacts so that we reach out to maximum number of OET aspirants, especially those who are financially struggling to crack OET. All the services at Edu Skills are free of cost, no payments of any sort. And you can find the links of the recordings in the description given below. Please share so that we reach out to those who are financially struggling to crack OET. Okay, keep smiling. Part B.
So sample 5, part B. So we go to the fifth one. Listen and read.
5. In this policy extract, what point is made about clinical guidelines? Their content must be approved by all relevant staff. They are a set of recommendations rather than regulations. Ignoring them for no reason is likely to result in disciplinary action. Clinical guidelines. The development, introduction and use of guidelines is intended to ensure consistent care to all patients and reduce risks of errors and incidents through ensuring the whole clinical team is working in an informed, consistent, and clearly understood way. The policy aims to ensure that clinical guidelines are developed and agreed, keeping all key staff involved and informed as well as reflecting best practice. It is important to recognize that clinical guidelines are not mandatory and are not a substitute for clinical judgment. However, where guidelines are not followed, clinicians should be able to account for why a decision not to adhere to them has been taken. In these situations, it is good practice to record this in the patient notes. Clinicians also have a responsibility to report these instances to those responsible for producing the guidelines in order that such instances can be reflected more accurately within them.
What point is made about clinical guidelines? What does it speak about? Clinical guidelines. Okay. Approved. Their content must be approved by all relevant staff.
Absolute.
Guidelines, are they usually applied by all the relevant staff? When you have a guideline in your hospital, all relevant staff and all the concerned staff will sign under it?
No, Father.
Do you do that?
No, Father.
No. So absolute is there. Always absolutes are
Wrong.
Eliminated.
Absolutes are always eliminated. So immediately you can eliminate this. Yes. So that is done. They are a set of recommendations rather than regulations. They are recommendations, not regulations. Recommendations. Ignoring them for no reason is likely to result in disciplinary action. Disciplinary action will be taken. Ignoring them for no reason means zero reason, right?
Yes,
you understand it? What does it mean?
absolute.
The meaning is absolute. So what happens?
Eliminate.
So what is left?
B.
Only option B.
B.
Okay, if you don't understand no reason is absolute, let's see here. It's important to recognize that clinical guidelines are not mandatory. Guidelines are
Not mandatory.
not mandatory means will there be punishment?
No.
So,
No. If it is not mandatory, no
Regulations.
punishments, no disciplinary action.
Great.
Okay?
Yes, Father.
It's
Yes, Father.
not mandatory. It is important. Whenever some expressions like it is important, it is significant, such expressions are that, definitely beware of that. Their answer will be there somewhere around. It's very important. Okay? And also it says this is somewhere it says it's a best practice. Say good practice. Good practice means good practice means it's good to do, not mandatory.
yes.
It's a good practice to have 2 or 3 liters of water every day. It's a good practice to have more fluid intake. Again, one more word was there somewhere. Best practice. See, best practice, reflecting best practice. All this says it is not mandatory. This is a best practice. This is good practice. It's better to do this. So these are recommendations, not regulations. Regulations are mandatory. Recommendations are advices, suggestions.
Advices.
Yeah, and no disciplinary action. Clear, no?
Yes, Father.
See, recommendations, non-mandatory, no disciplinary action, not must. May. Okay, you may do it or you may not do it.